Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. I'm your host, James Egan. Today on Bond Month, we'll be looking at the 1981 film For Your Eyes Only. I don't actually have a lot of facts for this movie, but the first one is a monster fact. The pre-title sequence shows James Bond killing his nemesis, Blofeld, by dropping him down a factory chimney. Many fans found it insulting that the Bond series killed off its biggest villain in such an unceremonious way. In fact, this scene didn't affect the plot and is often perceived as a gimmick. However, the scene's true purpose is much more petty. You see, the official Bond films were made by the company Eon Productions. Only two Bond films were not made by this company, the 1967 version of Casino Royale and the 1983 film Never Say Never Again. When Eon Productions learned that Never Say Never Again was going to be released in 1983, they were worried it would eclipse the official series for two big reasons. It would star Sean Connery as James Bond, and the main villain would be Bond's nemesis, Ernst Stavro Blofeld. Eon Productions had to find a way to derail the production somehow. After much deliberation, they put Blofeld in the first scene of their own movie and then had him killed off. Believing that audiences would have no understanding of the politics between the film companies, Eon Productions assumes viewers would believe Blofeld to be dead, so he couldn't be used again in Never Say Never Again. Since Eon Productions didn't have the rights for the character of Blofeld, which didn't get cleared up until 2013, his face is never seen in For Your Eyes Only. Although Blofeld still appears in Never Say Never Again, he looks nothing like how he's depicted in previous films. Much to Eon Productions' delight, Never Say Never Again made little money and was panned by critics. Because Eon Productions did not have the rights for Blofeld, he is credited as Man in Wheelchair. Man in Wheelchair is played by John Hollis. You may recognize John Hollis as Lobot in The Empire Strikes Back. Weirdly, he also starred in the 1967 version of Casino Royale. The tagline was, "Bond has everything, except the rights to Blofeld." The theme song was performed by Sheena Easton. The film was directed by John Glenn. He directed the next 4 films in the series. This is the first Bond film not to feature M. Julian Glover plays Christodos. He was considered to play James Bond at one point. Jaws was considered to return for this film, but the director thought he wouldn't fit the tone of the story. Bond says the Chinese proverb, "Before setting out for revenge, you first dig 2 graves." This quote is attributed to the philosopher Confucius. If the film didn't do well, the studio would have gone bankrupt. A stuntman called Paolo Rigoni died during the bobsled scene. This was the last Bond film that was solely released by United Artists. They merged with MGM before the release of the sequel, Octopussy. Moore was paid $4.6 million. In Finland, the film is called Top Secret. In Sweden, the film is called A Lethal Viewpoint. In Denmark, the film is called Agent 007 Strict Confidence. The first line of the novel reads, "The most beautiful bird in Jamaica, and some say the most beautiful bird in the world, is a streamer trail or Dr. Hummingbird." The last line from the novel reads, "She fell in behind and followed him, and as she walked, she pulled the tired bits of golden rod out of her hair and undid a ribbon and let the pale gold hair fall down to her shoulders." And finally, Charles Dance plays Klaus. Most people know Charles Dance as Tywin in Game of Thrones. Weirdly, Charles Dance played Bond writer Ian Fleming in the 1989 film GoldenEye, which is also the name of the 1995 Bond film. Special thanks to these fine people for all their help. Be sure to subscribe to Facts About Everything. Follow me on Twitter for updates on upcoming videos. Check out my Facebook page to let me know what subjects you want me to talk about in the future. Thanks for watching, see you again.